give it up for Samia Malik.
Thank you very much. But how do you follow the African Choir of Norfolk? I was standing at the back thinking, me by myself. Actually, I do have the wonder of technology. So perhaps how you follow the Norfolk African Choir of Norfolk is with a punk anthem.
We were given something to safeguard. We were given something to sow.
Wake up, the dawn has come.
Wake up, wake up.
Wake up, wake up, the dawn has come.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Get up, the call has come.
Get up, get up.
Get up, the call has come. Wake up, the dawn has come.
Wake up, wake up.
It's not time to rest, it's not time to sleep, it's not time to cry, it's not time to weep. It's the time to stand, it's the time to rise, it's the time to see beyond the lies. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, the dawn has come.
Wake up, wake up.
Get up, the call has come.
Get up,
Get up, the call has come. Wake up, the dawn has come.
wake up, wake up, wake up.
Afraid to touch your tender need, fill emptiness with endless greed. Not religion, color, race, nor creed. We're all born, all live, all die, all bleed. Wake up, the dawn has come. It's not time to rest, it's not time to sleep. It's the time to rise, it's the time to stand, it's the time to see beyond the lies. Wake up, the dawn has come.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Wake up, the dawn has come.
Wake up, wake up.
Get up, the call has come. Get up, the call has come. Wake up, the dawn has come.
Wake up, wake up. We were given something to safeguard. We were given something to sow.
We were given something to safeguard. We were given something to know. Thank you very much. What you can't see is the African choir dancing at the back. So do feel free to either dance at the back or at the front. Everything is allowed. I'm presenting work in progress. About a year ago, I was lucky enough to get some research and development money from the wonderful Arts Council, who supported me over a number of years, to do work on production of music. So to write some new material and to learn how to mix and to use samples and all sorts of wonderful things. I have a little studio that's a music studio within my art studio. So I feel really, really, I'm like a child in a sweet shop. I'm just learning all these amazing things about technology and all these samples and all of this. So this is my band, as I said, in a box. But there are actually real people who are here, not really with me, but virtually with me. And one you'll notice is Sukhdeep Dhanjal, who is a long-time collaborator, and he has given me samples of tabla. So if you are watching, Sukh, thank you so much. I also ought to welcome, I don't know which camera I'm on, but we are being live streamed all around the world. So if you are watching from somewhere, thank you very much for joining us. Let us know where you're watching from. And we are in Norwich having an amazing Tuesday night, yeah? This next song, very dear to my heart. The words in Urdu are written by my mother about my father. My father died a very long time ago, so my mother spent her whole lifetime not having anyone to tell off, which was a bit of a problem, but she did miss him. And the words that she wrote, unfortunately she died before I could sing her this song, and she had dementia over the last couple of years, so I think she might have been a bit confused about what I was doing. But I like to think of them together, having a nice little waltz. I don't need to tell you what it means because I've translated it.
just you. My dreams are just you. My thoughts are just you. My every morning dawns just with you. Dawns just with you. All around celebrates you. All around you, just you. बहारों की महफिल जवा तेरे दम से बहारों की महफिल जवा तेरे दम से महकती फूलों से तेरी खुशबू तेरी खुशबू हर तरफ तेरा जलवा हर तरफ तू ही तू The gathering spring grows from your breath. The gathering spring grows from your breath. Blossoming flowers are scented with you, are scented with you. All around celebrates you. All around you, just you. ये दुनिया है कायम तस्वर से तेरे ये दुनिया है कायम तस्वर से तेरे मेरे दिल की दुनिया में है तू ही तू तू ही तू हर तरफ तेरा जलवा हर तरफ तू ही तू The world only is in this yearning for you. The world only is in this yearning for you. The world and my heart just turning for you, just turning for you. All around celebrates you. All around you, just you. हर तरफ तेरा जलवा हर तरफ तू ही तू तू ही तू तू ही तू तू ही तू तू ही तू
I ought to say it's fine to cry. Crying is very healing. I saw a few tears dropping as I was looking around. That is a very sad song, and I would like to dedicate that last song to anybody who's ever loved and lost, which is all of us, isn't it? So it's an interesting title, my show. Songs to Heal and Empower. It's a massive ask, isn't it? I mean, am I going to heal you? Am I going to empower you? I hope so, because these songs and art in itself has always empowered me, it's always healed me, right from my earliest struggles right to today. It's powerful. It's informative, but also transformative. So we can learn about each other, we can learn about each other's cultures, but we can also get that sense of connection. Oh, it's just not me who feels like this. We all feel like this. And that sense of shared humanity, which for some reason we are constantly being told what's different about us and not what's the same. And so I question those people, and it's usually people in power who try to turn us against each other, because we know where that leads when you start looking at only differences and not seeing us as humans with all the same feelings that all humans everywhere have. We see where it leads. But I think art is very powerful. I think it was James Baldwin, the African-American writer, who said, hatred, people hold on to their hatred because they might sense that when they let go of hatred, they might have to deal with their own pain. And my personal experience is that pain is also transformative. Some of my early songs in Urdu were really trying to deal with the kind of traumas that I had lived through as a young woman, as a young Asian woman from a Pakistani Muslim background. And a lot of those songs were just trying to work out who I was. I performed them for many years, and then I got to a point where I thought I need to stop performing these songs because they actually kind of put me back into that box that I was trying to get out of. And then I moved into visual art, which is what you see behind me. And it was only after I'd worked away from singing for a number of years and moved into visual art, and when I started exploring some of the images you see behind me, which are abstract pieces about meditation, possibly about just being alive, that I thought, oh, hold on, I am now at a point where I'm exploring the human condition, which is the job of an artist. Of course, you start from your own place, your starting place, but in the end, it's about trying to touch humanity in everybody. So the words heal and empower are not my words. They're from an amazing writer who I hope is watching online, an activist and writer called Amrit Wilson. She wrote an amazing book, which I read when I was 20 and in a very difficult situation. And it was probably the third time at that time in my life that art saved me. That book was called Finding a Voice, and it was about Asian women in England. And it gave me the courage to leave a really difficult situation because I realized I was not alone. That's what I mean about art connecting us and giving us strength and giving us courage. So, going back to James Baldwin, what do we do with the pain?
With hearts so soft that often bleed, why does it feel so wrong to sit with pain, to sit with need, sit with the anger, sit with the rage, sit with the ache again and again. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. With hearts so soft that often bleed, why does it feel so wrong to sit with pain, to sit with need, sit with the anger, sit with the rage, sit with the ache again and again. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. With hearts so soft that often bleed, why does it feel so raw? To sit with pain, to sit with need, sit with the anger, sit with the rage, sit with the ache, again and again. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. With hearts so soft that often bleed, why does it feel so raw? To sit with pain, to sit with need, sit with the anger, sit with the rage, sit with the ache, again and again. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you. Places that scare you, you fear that they can tear you.
With thanks to the amazing meditation teacher Pema Chodron, who wrote a book called Places That Scare You. And that song came from my own experience of meditation, my own experience of sitting with pain. Somehow you find it doesn't destroy you. Somehow you find you can transform things. Maybe that's just my personal experience. Maybe it's wrong of me to say that in public. But I'm only talking about my own experience. And, you know, I have had so many people with even the work that I mentioned earlier about my own personal experience of being from the background that I come from. So many people said those songs and those experiences resonated for them. So I'm really interested in your feedback and questions or thoughts about the work that I'm presenting. It's absolutely new. It's the second time I've actually performed it to anyone. So it's very raw and it's very new, and the next stage will be to actually produce it properly. So anything you say will be used, hopefully, to make this better. It's a work in progress. Somebody yesterday said to me she's a perfectionist and never gets things finished because she's trying to get it perfect. And she said, I'm going to throw perfection in the bin and just release something. And I thought, what a great idea. We're all in progress, aren't we? I mean, nobody knows how to live. We do the best we can. But this song is a wish.
Planets shift, pulse quickens, rushes through. come walk with me, sing your song, unlearn your fear. Come take my hand, come walk with me, sing your song, unlearn your fear. Sing your song, unlearn your fear. Hearts beat, planets shift, pulse quickens, rushes through. I keep on wanting everything, and you to want it too. Break the chains, undo the bonds. Don't be less than you can be. Break the chains, undo the bonds. Don't be less than you can be. Life is short, but truth is long. Claim your destiny. Claim your destiny. Life is short, but truth is long. Claim your destiny. Claim your destiny. Hearts beat, planets shift, pulse quickens, rushes through. I keep on wanting everything, and you to want it too. You were not born to stand aside. You were born to fly and sing. You were not born to stand aside. You were born to fly and sing. You were born in love, born to love. You were born, you are the spring. You were born, you are the spring. You were born in love, born to love. You were born, you are the spring. You were born, you are the spring. Hearts beat, planets shift, pulse quickens, rushes through. I keep on wanting everything, and you to want it too. We were not born to stand aside. We were born to fly and sing. We were not born to stand aside. We were born to fly and sing. We were born in love, born to love. We were born, we are the spring. We were born, we are the spring. We were born in love, born to love.
Thank you very much. You're a very attentive audience. I had to argue with myself a lot when I was writing those lyrics. I was like, can I really say you're born in love, you're born to fly? Can I say that? Can I then say we are? And then I thought, I'm being quite sentimental. Is it okay? And then I thought two things. One, what the world does need is more sentiment. We know where not feeling takes us, don't we? We're there now, aren't we? We need to feel a bit more, and maybe we need to not be so afraid of showing vulnerable feelings or sharing the pain, because actually there is a way through it, because we all feel the same thing. So that song also, I thought, well, I'm a 60-year-old granny, so if I can't be sentimental, who can be? Sorry? Well, I mean, it is International Women's Day, and, you know, I was going to say, when I first started learning about this kind of music production and thinking, oh, I can do this, and I can have drums, and I can have bass, and I can have all of this, I found myself thinking a thought, and I'm going to share it with you. The thought was, if only I had discovered this 30 years ago. And then I saw myself having that thought, and I stood outside myself, and I gave myself a really good talking to. I thought, hold on a minute, 30 years ago, I had young children, had a big mortgage, I was working all the time, and anyway, this technology didn't exist. And what am I talking about? Am I dead yet? No. So this is what a 60-year-old woman looks like. Happy International Women's Day. Yeah. But you know, it's not that I don't love men. I love men. Men are not the problem. The problem is the divisiveness that we have because it's us and them. Men have possibly as many problems as women. Well, maybe not as many. One good friend of mine put it like this. She said, it's like there's a prison, and the woman's inside the jail in the prison. The man's got the key. He can let her out. But he's inside the prison too. Yeah? So really, what we need to do is all get out. I mean, for men, you know, we know where toxic masculinity leads us. We're here now, aren't we? It's the degradation of the world. It's war. War in so many different places. I saw a picture just before this war of all the world leaders. They were all white men, all sitting around a table, and I thought, we have so far to go yet. You know, sometimes I think I shouldn't sing. I should just stand and rant for 25 minutes. But I will sing this next song, which is... there's a lovely concept in my culture called of amanat. Amanat means given in trust. So everything is given to us in trust. We think we have children. We think we have houses. We think we have bodies, but actually nothing is ours, not even our bodies. At some point, we will give them back. And I think if we live like that the world is in trust to us, then we might start treating ourselves and the world a little bit better. Do join in. Fall into my breath, the borrowed body, fall right through myself. The borrowed body, fall into my breath. The borrowed body, fall right through myself. The borrowed body, fall into my breath. Reap just what you sow. Reap just what you sow.
what you are. Pay back just what you are. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, the borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall into my breath. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall right through myself. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall into my breath. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall right through myself. The borrowed body, the borrowed body. Just a tale, a narrative. Just a tale, a narrative. Let go, forgive. Let go, forgive. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, the borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall into my breath. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall right through myself. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall into my breath. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall right through myself. Under the skin is every scar. Under the skin is every scar. What you in, not what you are. What you in, not what you are. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, the borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall into my breath. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall right through myself. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall into my breath. The borrowed body, the borrowed body, fall right through myself. The borrowed body, the borrowed body.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm going to sing one more song, and I'm going to sing a song that's a cappella. But that will be the last song. And before I do that, I'll just say that I would love questions and answers. Well, I might give some answers, questions and answers, or maybe answers and questions. And there are some evaluation forms that my lovely colleague Karen will make available after I leave the stage. So, I mean, obviously, if you need to go off and get a drink or visit the toilet, then feel free. It should be an informal questions and answer session. And if you don't manage to do it here, you can do it online. Just look me up and you'll find a link to the questionnaire. And there's a £20 Amazon voucher because people are doing this all over the place. So I thought it was, we don't like bozos, but we don't like Amazon, but it's something that I can give to everyone. So this song just came. Some songs just come. You have to, somebody asked me about my process, not progress, this is work in progress, but my process is that I get myself ready, I practice, I think of a scale, I maybe make a rhythm, and now with my new technology, I maybe make a nice template, and then I start composing. This song just came like that. I was in the car, I had to stop and catch it, and I thought, oh, is it for me even? I don't know. You come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. You come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. Hold me, fold me into your arms. Hold me, fold me into your arms. You come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. When the night is darkest, when I am most alone, when the night is darkest, when I am most alone, you come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. You come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. You come to me like a melody. You come to me in song. You come to me like a melody. You come to me in song. You come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. You come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. You come to me like a memory. You show me that I belong. You come to me like a memory. You show me that I belong. You come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. You come like a gift, lifting me clear from the storm. Hold me, fold me into your arms. Hold me, fold me into your arms. You come like a gift, lifting me clear, lifting me clear, lifting me clear from the storm. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I've got a few people to thank. I would like to start by thanking Camillo, my sound technician, who has supported me throughout the last year of this project, and he's in great demand and whizzing around the country, but he has been amazing. I'd like to thank the crew and Pasco in particular from the Arts Centre for just being so absolutely brilliant. Every time I come here, it's even better. I'd like to thank the Arts Council. This is what happens when you support artists. Art is made, new work is made. So I think it's really important to just big them up and say thank you for making this possible. And I would like to thank you. I would like to thank you for being here and listening with your hearts. And I would like to thank Anna Mudeka and her wonderful choir for giving us such an extraordinary first set. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Absolutely amazing, mesmerising performance, I think you'll all agree. Samia Malik, Norwich Arts Centre, thank you. So, what an amazing evening, what an amazing time to be here on International Women's Day. We are going to be taking some questions. We also have a couple of people handing out the feedback forms. I think if you look around you, you'll see there's a couple of people handing out some feedback forms. So please do stick your hands up in the air if you'd like one, and you can be filling those in whilst we're having a chat. We're going to get Samia back onto the stage in a moment to answer some of your questions and have a little chat more about the process and how she does things. Before that, though, I should just tell those of you who, like me, went outside eagerly wanting to buy a CD, because I assume that's everyone, that obviously, in the age of the pandemic, I don't carry cash anymore. And there is some available outside for buying cash, but Samia's work is available online. And if you search on Instagram, Samia Malik Music, there is a full range of CDs and wonderful prints and all the wonderful artwork that you see there available to buy. Okay, so if you just like to get a form and fill it in, you'll get a chance to get the Amazon gift card. But can I ask you to put your hands together and welcome back to the stage, Samia Malik. Thank you. So just before we start the questions, stick your hands up if you have a question in a moment. But I just wanted to start off by saying that amazing performance, absolutely mesmerising. What a voice, what a voice. But it's quite a departure, I think, from what you've been doing in the past. And I just wanted to ask you, you touched on it ever so slightly, but I wanted to ask you about the process that you now go through. You've had this wonderful period of exploration and self-exploration, thanks to the Arts Council. Tell us a little bit more, if you could, about the process that you go through. Thank you.
Yes, so it doesn't matter if it's singing or making a painting. I do the same thing. I prepare myself, I prepare my space, I get my canvases ready, I get my scale ready, I practice with my voice, I make it safe, I do a lot of meditation, and I try to get rid of myself. And that means I've got a sign in my studio that says, "It wants to come, get out of the way." You know, I have a little ego, like we all have. Or maybe it's a big ego, I don't know. But my ego is saying, "You're rubbish, you are. You're going to fall flat on your face. They'll all laugh at you. They'll all hate you." All of those things that everybody thinks. Yeah. So I have to just like go, "Yeah, thanks," because I need that side of me to make things better. Because, you know, bad art is not good either. But, you know, what you have to do is you just have to get out of your own way, but be really prepared and really attentive and just receive with gratitude whatever comes. Sometimes nothing comes. A lot of the time, nothing comes.
What do you do then?
I just kind of thank the source, and I go home and start again the next day. I think as an artist, what you have to do is just show up. You just show up. I've been doing this for a really long time, and a lot of the time, I mean, I'm fairly prolific. If something came every time, there wouldn't be space in the world.
Absolutely. And it's wonderful to see your art in conjunction with your music. How does that kind of process come about? Do you have these visuals in mind, or which comes first, I guess?
It's a really good question. A lot of people ask about the artwork. It comes from the same source, obviously. It's just me, my experience, my kind of, my obsessions, if you like, my preoccupations. The art was, as I said, my first early work was, my first visual art was like my first songs that were very angry, because I was very angry, and I had to let that anger out. Anger is a great kind of energy, as long as you don't let it destroy you. It can be used in a really productive way, as were other kind of what we think of as negative energies that I mentioned during the performance. So I forgot what I was saying. Yes, so the artwork is from the same place, and sometimes I've used it and had a particular piece in mind. Like, I think the first song, I wasn't looking behind me, but assumed that there was a fist up, which is kind of a similar, it's a similar thing that I was exploring in that first song, which was get up, let's just gather our hands and stand and, be out in the streets before they take away our right to protest. So sometimes they come together, and sometimes I think visual art sometimes is a language, because there's no words in it, is sometimes more universally understood than words, because they necessarily are from a language, and music is somehow also is within some kind of culture. So my earlier work was much more Asian, and my newer work, you'll notice that most of my songs were in English, because I've lived here since I was 6. So it's mine as well. I'm not just Asian. I'm all of these things. And so are we all. We're all international.
Indeed. Thank you. Can I open the questions to the floor? Okay. Hello. This is your chance to question a great artist, so do. Yep. Lovely.
Software. Yeah, I can hear you. It was almost exactly a year ago on International Women's Day that I got the yes from the Arts Council. So it's been the last year, not full-time, but just, whenever I can get to my studio. So as I mentioned, I have an art studio. So my very lovely husband, who's around about somewhere, probably, I think he might be in the bar, helped me build a kind of cube. I should have brought a video to show you. It's a very private space, so I don't really, I just kind of work in there. I have all sorts of things up that I'd feel like I'd have to take down if somebody came in. So it's very kind of, it's just it's like a kind of sanctuary right in the centre of Norwich. How long have I done it? Yeah, a year, but really, if I tell you that what I've presented today was in no state like this 2 months ago. At the beginning of January, I had nothing to present. I was going to cancel this show. And then I thought, no, I'm going to spend a month writing and writing and writing. And then next month, I'm going to just produce it. I'm going to put all these tracks. And I've done it. I mean, in December, I would have been standing here maybe singing some really sad songs. I think they were better. I like them, and I hope you like them, but I like them, that's the important thing. It's a terrible thing to say, but it's true.
It is. I feel empowered. I feel healed. Where did you come up with the title? How did you come up with
You
that?
might have missed me saying that the title comes from... I meant to say it. Maybe I didn't finish my sentence. It often happens. The wonderful Amrit Wilson, who is a writer and activist, came to one of my shows in London. And she had written, that's right, I remember now the trail, she had written a book called Finding a Voice, which was about Asian women in England. And she reviewed my work, and she said, one of the things she said in her review was, iconic songs to heal and empower. And I thought, that is what I do. That is what I do for myself. I write these songs to heal and empower myself. And it was particularly, I was working with Asian women because I happen to be an Asian woman from an Asian Pakistani Muslim background, having grown up in the UK. These are all really important things in terms of what I'm exploring in my work. But then, as I said somewhere in the show, you know, that's not just who I am. What's bigger about all of us is not the accident of our births. There's another song which never made it to this stage where I'm saying it's an accident. It's all an accident where you're born, what sex you are, even if you're human. You know, it's an accident. It's a kind of cosmic accident. We are so attached to our lives and our preoccupations and our histories and our stories. That's what I'm saying in Borrowed Body. It's a tale. It's a narrative. Obviously, it's true on a very real level. Obviously, I'm still dealing with the things that I've had to personally deal with. But you know, there's something bigger, which is that we're human and we're alive. Those are the only two things I really know for sure. Well, I think I know those. And so I think that's what I'm kind of trying to explore with on a bigger scale, which is why I'm allowing myself, sorry, it's a very long answer to a very short question, to just use all sorts of technology and all sorts of music.
Thank you. More questions?
Yeah, there's one there.
Yeah? Okay.
What made you first become an artist? Because I think that's what I would describe you as. And what artists inspire you?
Ooh, great questions. What made me first become an artist and what artist inspired me? Really good questions. So I would only say I've been calling myself an artist for a little while. Even now sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just pretending, aren't I? The little narrative just goes on.
The little voice.
The little voice just keeps going. I've never chosen it. I never chose to sing. I sang, I've sung all my life. I don't ever remember consciously choosing to sing. In fact, I chose not to sing for a while when I said I had a long break from singing for about 12 years because it was too personal and I moved into visual art. So that was a conscious choice. And then I consciously chose to come back to singing because after the work I'd done with visual art, I felt like I could then respect the songs that I already had that I'd never really taken very far. So it's really difficult to answer when did I think I've always been an artist, but I've also had to have loads of other jobs. And which artists inspire me? Well, as a teenager, I was really inspired by the work of Guru Dutt, who is a filmmaker, an Indian filmmaker. He died quite young. He did films in the 60s. His films were very political, very much exploring kind of hypocrisy, power, powerlessness, the position of women in society. He was really groundbreaking for a culture that prides itself on singing and dancing films, which are also great. But, that political kind of, it really spoke to me as a teenager. So Guru Dutt was, like my first, countless singers. But it's a great question. I'm going to go away and think about that.
Part 2 later.
Yes.
More questions?
Comment.
Yes.
You made a comment in the show about you thought about maybe not doing any music and just speaking. But actually, what you've got to say is so listenable to. You're very listenable to, and you've got. I would say there's an audio CD of what you have to say in itself.
Yeah.
So that would come out of this. Yeah.
Or a podcast.
Or podcast. Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah. But this definitely what you say is totally accessible and very of the moment, and it's really good. I really love listening to you. It makes me want to get to know you, what you have to say, and so therefore that's a success. And the other thing is, as a show, I can see a small bespoke band around you with some backing singers, and can see all that happening, and the clarity of your solo work at the end, and the song just before about the body that's the hit. The body is the hit, and then this bit at the end. Beautiful. But the solo at the end is gorgeous, beautiful. So just thank you. I think it's very inspiring. Yeah.
Thank you.
I want that written down to give to the Arts Council.
Podcast, yeah. Have you got forms, sir? Have you got one of the forms, sir? Feedback forms are available.
No, it is really important because I belong. I should have said actually. Not only did I get tuition from Camillo, who's had to rush off to London, but I also joined a home recording academy group, which is a women's women in production, and it's run by an amazing woman called Isabel Anderson, Dr. Isabel Anderson, actually. She's a doctor in sonic arts, and her mission is to teach women to make music through technology. So, wow.
Yeah.
On the day that I was about to start having my lessons with Camillo, into my email box from the Musicians Union came this free session, Make Your Home Studio More Effective. And I was like, yes. Perfect. So when I had my first lesson with Camillo, I knew some of the things to ask him because I'd already learned. And so over the course of the last year, I've done as much of her things as I can. And now I'm part of this amazing group of international women. I mean, you know, from Australia to Scotland to Norwich, who are crazy. Like this. We just sit in our studios and make stuff and send things to each other and go, what do you think of this? And it is a certain kind of craziness that needs, that is kind of made by this. But, I mean, I can't tell you how touched I am that you all haven't left. I've gone off to do something else. I'm like, oh, God, people actually do like it. So I'm just, yeah. I can't tell you how terrified I've been.
Certain kind of craziness, but a certain kind of magic as well, I think. Absolutely. Mesmerising performance, thank you. Any last questions? We've got time for maybe one more. Squeeze one in. Yeah?
I've seen you with bands, I think I asked you this before, but for me it's so cool to see a grandmother doing take his down. So would you ever then go back to having a band, or this is Samia? Is this Samia of the future?
I realised doing that Home Recording Academy course, we did a lot of thinking about ourselves as musicians. And I realised that whenever I've toured, and I've toured with a big band, because I don't have a manager, because I end up doing kind of everything, looking after people's, train tickets and where they're staying and food and stuff. Maybe I just need a manager, but nobody, I'm a bit of a maverick. Nobody's ever offered to represent me. So if there's anybody here who's looking for a job, Anyway, so I realised that what happens is I write the stuff and then I make the band come together, but my bands are not in Norwich, but there'll be somebody in London, and there'll be somebody in Manchester, and there'll be somebody in High Wycombe, and trying to get the money to get all of these people together is really difficult. And then rehearsal, so it means I have to spend a lot of money fundraising, a lot of time fundraising and organising, and it gets to a point where I actually don't want to sing anymore because I'm exhausted by looking after everybody else. The music comes last. What's amazing about this is that it's just me and my sound technician, who I really need. But, it is quite empowering. I've been a Musicians Union member for all my life. I have stickers that say, keep music live. And I'm like, But it's okay, because I'm live. I'm here, and it is great to have this technology. It is, you can see it's fun, can't you? And I feel like I've just started. Literally, as I said 2 months ago, none of this really was together. It was all lots of ideas, nothing really fixed. But in doing this, in putting it together, and deadlines are amazing, aren't they? In having to do that, I've just like, oh yeah, this is how you do this, or this is how you do this, and oh yeah, you don't record on mono. All of those kind of they're very boring, nerdy things, but actually, then you can have so much fun. And I know that it's Mary, isn't it? It is, yeah, because I know you do music technology as well. And it is just so empowering. And there's something particularly empowering about women doing it, I think. I think it's just, you know, it just, there's not enough of us doing it. So I think,
So
yeah.
Get out there and do it.
Get out there and do it.
Go girls. Yeah.
Maybe you need to like, do a music documentary or something. Find something
Yeah.
to, you know, get that on YouTube or something like that, you know.
That's an idea. So podcast. Yeah. We've got it all going on.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great suggestions.
Yeah.
You never know. Put it out there, put it out there.
Yeah. I think, yeah, there's all of that to explore, isn't there?
I think these guys could be your managers.
I think so. Stay behind. Talk to me.
They're good. They're good.
You've got great ideas. I really love your evaluations and feedback because it's really important, as I said, for this kind of work to be funded. And not only me, but as I belong to this women's group, I've been kind of sharing some of my success and failures with fundraising with some of the other women, and some of the other women are now applying for funding and getting things, and we're supporting each other. So, you know, it's like a snowball. And I think, you know, these kinds of experiences that I'm talking about, the things that I'm obsessed about and I write about, everybody has their own things. There's a whole load of us who've never really been listened to because we've never really had the capacity, the facility, the resources, the hardware, the software, the space, the small income, the room of our own in order to be able to create, or, you know, or sometimes a pram in the hall. Sorry, my children. But you're grown up now, so now I can do this. I mean, I was doing it anyway. But, okay.
And we're very glad you have. And I just have to say, I'm going to come around and collect some forms off you later, or you can hand them in at the desk as you leave. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience. Can I just ask you to give it up for the wonderful Samia Malik? What a great performance. Thank you.